Well, by this point, you might already know that I'm from Venezuela. So when something about Venezuela happens so prominently with the Trump administration, I feel compelled that I should talk about this. And in this case, the bounty for the president, quote unquote, of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro Moros, was raised to $50 million for information leading to the arrest and or conviction of the leader of the specially designated global terrorist cartel de los Soles, another drug cartel. This was shared by Marco Rubio, and there was also a video with Pam Bondi when she, well, took it to heart to make it clear that they were offering this wonderful amount of money.
Today, the Department of Justice and State Department are announcing a historic $50 million reward for information leading to the arrest of Nicolas Maduro. Maduro uses foreign terrorist organizations like TDA, Sinaloa, and Cartel of the Suns to bring deadly drugs and violence into our country. To date, the DEA has seized 30 tons of cocaine linked to Maduro and his associates, with nearly 7 tons linked to Maduro himself, which represents a primary source of income for the deadly cartels based in Venezuela and Mexico. Cocaine is often laced with fentanyl, resulting in the loss and destruction of countless American lives. The DOJ has seized over $700 million of Maduro-linked assets, including 2 private jets, 9 vehicles, and more. Yet Maduro's reign of terror continues.
I wonder why. Well, I don't exactly wonder why. I know why Maduro's reign of terror continues, but let's move on.
He is one of the largest narco traffickers in the world and a threat to our national security. Therefore, we've doubled his reward to $50 million. Under President Trump's leadership, Maduro will not escape justice, and he will be held accountable for his despicable crimes. If you have any information to bring this criminal to justice, call 1-202-307-4228 or go online.
The memes are already out there, and for good reason. For good measure, the memes are already out there. Yeah, it's right here in the Palacio de Miraflores, in the presidential palace. It's that simple. You know, in Caracas, you can find it in Google Maps. It's right there. It's right there. Everybody's saying, okay, you don't need information on how to locate the man. Everybody knows where he is. So people are asking the obvious question, and they are asking me, so do you think there's going to be any change in Venezuela right now? Anything is going to change in Venezuela right now? I'm going to tell you, I made a video. I have to mention a video. I feel compelled to mention a video I made on my Body Language Guy channel. That I'm going to link it right here in the description. A video called "This is my last video on Venezuela," and it was venting. It was more than 30 minutes venting about the actual situation of Venezuela and all those responsible for this, not the actual the ones responsible. Everyone, every single responsible for this, including but not limited to not only the Madurists or the Chavists, and also what they call the blue opposition or the fake opposition, because it's not an opposition at all. And yes, I talk about Maria Corina Machado and Edmundo Gonzalez and all the things that I feel compelled to say that no, this was not it. We are already 1 year into knowing that Maduro stole the 2024 elections. Everybody knows that Maduro stole those elections. That everybody knows it. And Maria Corina Machado has the proof of that. But over and over again, they have said that they want a peaceful exchange of power, which these are terrorists. And this is one of the things that I mentioned in that video, in which they pretend to have, let's say, a change of regime, or the regime of Maduro to fall without any sort of weapons, peacefully. That is not going to happen. that's simply not going to happen. And that's one of my criticism of this too. But I also criticize this guy. I mean, I lost so many friends, so many family. I've said that many times. I said that in this video over criticizing what this guy was doing back in 2019. If you don't know who this guy is, Juan Guaido, he was the interim president of Venezuela from, if I remember correctly, January 10, 2019 and onwards. And it was just given breathing space. It was control opposition. Him, Leopoldo Lopez, they are control opposition. They're fakes, all of them. Henry Ramos Ayub, maybe you're not Venezuelan, you don't know who I'm talking about, but if you're Venezuelan, you know all of them are in the same thing. All of them are into it. We could say that Maria Corina Machado is the only one who is not in the game of sustaining Maduro in that. But again, when Maduro has had actual enemies or actual opposition, they have been wiped out of the face of the earth. In all cases, Maria Corina Machado is necessary for Maduro to keep on going because he needs somebody in there to represent, to give people hope, even if that hope is, 6 more years of this. And we are already 1 more year into this, and that is a reality. What is going on? Because we see all these messages, these contradicting messages from the Trump administration. They double the bounty on Maduro to $50 million. But now we have this. You know that Trump had announced that he was going to just finish Chevron's ability to operate in Venezuela. And well, it was like not long ago, like 2 weeks ago, Trump quietly renews Chevron's license in Venezuela, making shift in U.S. policy. So, all right, with no benefit to Maduro, give me a break. Of course, Maduro gets a cut out of this. And that was part of the negotiations of the, there's Venezuelan prisoners that were sent to El Salvador, and the American prisoners, every single American was imprisoned under the Maduro regime, was sent to the United States. All these were negotiations. All of them were negotiations. And I want to also remind you that Maria Corina Machado, in an interview with Donald Trump Jr., with Don Jr. on Rumble, said that she wanted a peaceful exchange of power. Again, that is not going to happen. What is going on here? Why is Maduro doing this, Trump doing this, raising the bounty, doubling the bounty? I think that this is, I'm going to tell you this. I think this is just posturing. I think this is just posturing. Many people in the United States, maybe many Latinos in the United States, not only Venezuelans, they know about our struggle. They know what we have been through. And that is real influence. And that is a lot of people who are, well, what are you? Are you dealing with Maduro now? Are you negotiation with Maduro now? Is that a thing? So I think this is just posturing from the Trump administration to say that they're going to do something about this. If they wanted to do something about this, they know how to find him. They know how to take him out. They know all the process. They have done that so many times, but at the same time, I can understand that, well, Trump has other priorities. But this is only, let's say, political signaling. Oh yeah, we acknowledge that Maduro is not the actual president of Venezuela. He's not. He stole elections. We know that Edmundo González Urrutia is the legitimate president of Venezuela. Everybody knows. Every single person in the world knows that Maduro stole the elections. But who's going to bail the cat when the ones who should be there in Miraflores, they don't want any weapons involved. They don't want any violence involved. So Trump is doing real politics. He's making negotiations. He's saying, I don't want this Venezuelan oil to be in the hands of China. So I need to renew Chevron's license so it keeps operating in Venezuela. I am not a specialist in this topic, but pretty much that's what's happening. And again, it has to do with a lot of what has been happening with ICE and Venezuelans and negotiation with Maduro. Not a good look. And anyway, everybody knows where Maduro is. So it's absurd to say if you know how to find Maduro, he's not like Saddam in a hole in the ground. No, he's right there in Miraflores. So it's as simple as that. But so many people are not interested. That's some of the stuff that I explained in this video. Remember that I'm going to link it in the description. Sadly, we're going to have Maduro for some time because if Trump or the Trump administration wanted to do something, and they wanted to do something back then in 2019, they are not going to commit the same mistake right now of, all right, so you don't want any violence, you don't want any shots fired, you don't care about the hundreds of Venezuelans who are being tortured and are suffering, have been disappeared by the Maduro regime because you want a peaceful transition of power, so be it. If you don't want violence, if nobody wants violence, then there will be no violence. It's that simple. Nothing's gonna change. The $50 million is just posturing. I can understand that from Trump. Oh, I need to, for my Latino voters, maybe I'm losing some kind of popularity with me Latino voters. I need to raise the stakes to look like I'm doing something. If they could or they wanted to do something, they would have done that already. But I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Power Pundit. Much love and bliss.